first guest tonight. Have you seen Rocky? You saw Rocky 1, didn't you?
1 and 2, yeah.
1 and 2. Well, Rocky 3 is out now and done by a very accomplished actor, writer, director. Would you welcome Sylvester Stallone?
I know. He's not expecting this.
Don't tell me this is Rocky 4.
No. He just thinks that every day I go to work, I always come home with bloody noses and bruises, and he want to know who does it. And I said, him.
Is this your boy?
Yeah.
Hey, what's his name?
This is Sage.
Hi, Sage. How are you? Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. You didn't know where your dad went when he went to work, huh?
No. So say goodbye, Sage.
Huh? Well, see you later, Sage.
I wish someone had done that to me. That's
Yeah. Nobody ever did that at your age? Took you out in public and said, hey, here's my kid, right?
Yeah.
How old is he? About
he's about 6 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just turned 6.
Good-looking boy.
Yeah, he's fine kid.
Does he go to see the pictures? Is he too young to understand, to separate the reality from...
He was up until about a year ago. Truthfully, he thought I was a fighter and a boxer, and I guess that's because my wife is always beating up on me anyway, so it wasn't that much different. And so now he has, he's much more interested in Steve Martin. He says, there's a man who I'm interested in.
That
Rocky.
That always figures when you're a celebrity or a star and you have your own kids, they'll look at somebody else because you're just dad, that's all. And that's the way it should be. I saw your movie last night. I enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
You got another winner there.
Well, I hope
really
so. I really feel responsible for the third one. You know, it's like living up to your 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
And hand-me-downs. You say, oh, I don't want to go out there and do something that's embarrassing. So a lot of people put a lot of work and love, and I don't want to sit there and get maudlin about this, but I hope everyone likes it because we're very proud of it.
I'll tell you something. You've got to be, after making those 3 pictures, the best in shape actor in Hollywood. Because every one of them, I mean, you got to go into training, not only in the scenes to film it, but you got to be in shape to do the fight scenes.
Well, this fight is kind of like a metaphor for the way I think that people have to constantly be changing their lives, alter their philosophies to stay one step ahead of the game.
Right.
So what Johnny is talking about in this fight, I lose about 30 pounds from the other Rockies, and it's quite different visually.
Right.
And it took about 10 months to do all that and working out with professional bodybuilders, professional boxers, and professional torturers.
You probably get this question I'm asking after all these scenes and doing all the work and the gym training. Do you think you could step in with let's say a pretty good club fighter now and...
Funny you should ask that.
Yeah, step in the ring with, I'm talking about a club, I'm not talking about champion, but a good club fighter.
Well, I think if my Medicare, Blue Cross, and will was in order... No, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I thought this time, wouldn't it be interesting to take a real fighter and bring him into the film, because I need a new opponent at the end, and just teach him how to act a little bit. That'll save a lot of time. So the first one is Ernie Shavers. Now, Ernie Shavers is about, 59 fights and about 56 knockouts. Well, I got into the ring with him, and after a while you begin to believe, I'm pretty hot. Yeah, I'm hot. Okay. He hit me on the elbow and knocked my wind out. Okay? Hit me here, I got a concussion. Then he got me in the corner.
He's not joking.
Oh,
I'll tell you why. Years ago, we'll come back. I didn't want to... Years ago, the late Rocky Marciano was sitting in New York, and we were talking about fighters, and he used to hit guys on the arm. And just from covering up, and what you said would absolutely...
My arm, it started, and it began to work up, and then I was just shaking. Then he looked at me, and there was a certain voracious hunger, like I was a T-bone steak, and he had been marooned on an island for years. And he proceeded to, like 17 body punches, and I said, what is that screeching in the background? It's the producer saying, save my boy! Save my boy! There goes Rocky.
He's a professional fighter, and that's the only way
But he was great. And he was great, and I thought he really hit really good. So I said, maybe I'll go to someone a little easier. Joe Frazier. True. We're in the ring, and we're boxing. All of a sudden, I feel something warm. I go, this can't be nerves. What is it? And I look up, and I said, either I'm bleeding or someone has just dumped marmalade on my head. It was all red, and what it was just a quick little butt that was accidental. And I said, here I am. One man beats me to death. I'm bleeding. I haven't passed the audition yet, and I'm ready for traction.
So that's when you decided maybe not to go with a professional heavyweight.
No, and so we went out, and I found a fella on TV who was throwing midgets.
Now, you may have seen this guy. I knew who it was when I heard the name. They call him Mr. T, right?
Yes. I was really hung up on who to find as an opponent, because I really believe that in any kind of combat, you're only as good as your competition. So in Rocky III, I needed someone who was really an interesting nemesis. And we looked around, and the casting director, named Rhonda Young, finally said, you should see this guy on television, Mr. T. He's throwing midgets, and he's breaking doors with his forehead. I said, this is my kind of man. I like him. He's got style. And I looked at him, he had a mohawk and 8 earrings, and all the jewelry. It looked like an explosion at Cartier. It was like, boom, and it was terrific.
He was a great character.
Yeah, he was excellent. So he really is a godsend. He really is. He's fantastic.
We got to do a commercial. We're going to come back and talk some more about it and other things. Then we have it was a wonderful sequence in the thing where you, for a charity match within the framework of the story, have a bout with a boxer, with a wrestler, professional wrestler.
Yes.
And I think we have a little
Thunder Lips.
Little Thunder Lips. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We have returned. Thank you, Pat. Okay. Before we show the film clip, you shot part of this in Philadelphia. Isn't it true that when you were a teenager, you were expelled from a couple of schools in Philadelphia?
Yes,
I'd heard that. Or was that a rumor?
I was asked to
leave?
evacuate the hall of Montezuma. Yeah, I really did have a difficult time trying to adjust to school in general. I don't know. It just seems that at that time, I don't know how the school board conducts its business today, but it seems as though I was always forced into subjects that I felt didn't have any relevancy, like algebra and XMSG, accelerated geometry. And I was just thinking, how do I get this hickey off my neck? I mean, the two didn't seem to jive, you know, and so on. But I guess the priorities today have changed, but you know, sorry.
Let's show this little film clip. This is who's the fellow that you do this with?
His name is Hulk Hogan. He is another fellow that I saw one night on television. I was had insomnia, and he came on and he beat up 4 wrestlers at the same time. And he was a giant. He's about 7 feet tall, about 350 pounds. And I thought, how interesting. If Rocky were to have a charity match, everything was supposed to be nice and sweet for the Boy Scouts and the Brownies and the Bluebirds, and they're all out there with their balloons.
You're going to kind of fake a show?
Yes, we'll fake it. We'll move here, we'll move there. And this man decides to show the world that he's going to turn Rocky into a little wet spot.
Okay, watch the monitors. Here's a little excerpt from Rocky III.
The slugger from Philadelphia.
What do you think he eats? About 202 pounds.
Weighing 202 pounds, the reigning heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Balboa. Come to the center of the ring, please.
Okay, come on, Mick. All right, you guys, you know this is for fun, so take it easy and give him a good show. Listen, after the match, how about if we get a Polaroid together, okay?
You're in trouble, man. I'm gonna break him in half like this.
Seems like lately everybody wants to beat me up.
Remember, this is entertainment. It's fun and games.
Smart style, boy.
Stay away. Make faces. Move around the ring. Got it, kid. All right.
He is the ring.
Yeah, I get nervous every time he does that.
Whoa, you move pretty fast for a big guy, you know that?
Listen, why don't we just move around a little bit, you know, like give him a good show. First I'll chase you and you chase me, okay? How's that? All right? Go easy. Here you go. Is that okay? That hurt, all right? How's that? Okay? Not bad, huh?
I'll tell you. That sequence goes on for about 3.5 or 4 minutes, and it really is funny. It really is hysterical. How did
It's
you-
easy for you to say.
Easy for me. Yeah. We ought to get that guy on the show. What's his name?
Never
seen him
Hulk
that
Hogan.
large.
Actually, yeah, he's
You're
very...
in good shape, and then this comes out, and it's like, you know.
His dimensions, believe it or not, his arms are 24 inches around. My thigh is 21. Okay, his chest is 62. Around the shoulders is close to 70 inches around.
That's a large
Okay,
person.
I mean, his
Large
size,
person.
his neck is 23. And he eats 5'10" Italian.
Were you hurt? Were you hurt in any phase of making this picture? Really caught one?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, you.
Oh, yes. Usually it was my fault. The Hulk here, the only time he hurt me is when he would, there's a lot of falls that go on. I'd leave my arm out, and I'd forget, and he'd land on it, and then I'd bring it back, and it would be a postage stamp.
Be a little-
Big pancake.
bent
things like-
arm.
But with Mr. T, in the end, I felt that the difficult thing is really, since Rocky 1 and 2, the fights have been set up in such a way. What do we do in Rocky 3? Right. So we decided to really let it loose in the last round, and what people will see from the middle of the last round on is it's full-fledged.
It looks well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. Okay, we'll take a break. Mr. Martin will join us shortly.